What is up, YouTube world? I am Ashley D. Please be sure to like and subscribe to all. So today's video topic is going to be God does not bless any mess. Before I get started, I'm going to say everything I state is allegedly and it's not a guaranteed fact. So we have Miss Lieonya who's flexing. Oh, let me say again. Not a guaranteed fact. It's my own personal opinion and observation. Now let me get started. So we have Miss Lieonya, who has been going around promoting her book low-key. But she wants to act like the news people all of a sudden want to do a follow-up with her. Like she's just popping like that and everything's just taking off so much to where the news people are drawn in and saying, hey, let's check back on this mother who we had on the news years ago. Let's be real. Your manager, whoever is managing you now, have you doing a tour run. So basically, you can get more ratings for your show, Miss Lieonya. We're not stupid. We know that's going on. And guess what? We're not a hater. That's a great idea. But when you sit up there and you don't acknowledge the person, the brains behind the matter, the person behind who you are today, you don't even give them one flower. You didn't give them a bouquet of flowers. You didn't give this man one flower. Credit for anything. You act like you, on your own, decided to go on Facebook, decided to have your own idea of being Miss LaTruth, decided to push your brand, push the family skits, all of that. So think about it, Miss Lieonya. What's wrong now? What's going on now? What happened? Why are you nowhere near where you allegedly think you are or supposed to be? Your skits are corny. At least when you was with Mr. LaTruth, the skits was based on something that actually made sense. Now your skits are whack. Not to mention you don't do those often. When you go live, you don't have anything to say. You cook it, have cooking food because you're not cooking it properly. Or when you're cooking it, you're overcooking it like the eggs. You are all over the place with your ideas. But you expect us to think you formed a thought or your own opinion to write a book, to sit down and do that. But yet, when you come online, you can't even maintain the 3 people that's watching you, 3,000, that's watching you, following you at that current time. To hold a decent conversation with them, you have to sit down, read the comments. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Hey, such and such. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. That's getting played out and boring. Let's talk about what you really doing. Or better yet, we know what you're really doing. Because when you're not going live and you don't have anything else to do, when you spend the time with your man-child, that's when you go live as well. And you two are so boring. But everyone is so intrigued at the fact that you so bold with committing your adultery online while you're married. How you are so stuck on this man who could care less about you. It's a joke at this point, Miss Lieonya. And your people, for real, they don't believe that's real love. They're just egging you on. And if they was your real supporters and your real fans, they will tell you the truth. And they will not want you to commit adultery. They will not be okay with you breaking up your happy home over this foolish mess, over this little kid that cannot step up to the plate to be a father figure in these children's life. Those are not fans. Those are evil people. Those are people that don't care about you or have you or your children's best interests at heart. And no, they don't owe that to you. But at the same time, they've been following you for all these years as well. But then the twist side to it, if they following you, then maybe they're looking up to you. Like I said in the other video, maybe they're wanting you to show them and do something different. Guide the way for DV victims. Guide the way for single women that are going through divorces. Something similar to you. But you so hell-bent on getting your ex jealous. You can't think clear enough to know that you promoting being a single parent will sell just as much as you committing adultery, running behind this man-child who could care less about you, who could care less about how bad you look and what your network looking like and how your money and sales drop. Because guess what? As you slowly decline, he's slowly getting more people to follow him. He's slowly being seen more and being recognized. He know his acting gig ain't going nowhere. But what does he do, Miss Lieonya? Attach himself to you. And what do? Overly attach yourself to him. So You want to act like you popping so much, like the radio station's checking for you. Your shows is boring. Every time it comes on, it doesn't center around what the title is, what the subscription that you said in the beginning what it's supposed to be about. You're not a single mom navigating, doing anything. From you sitting down talking to people about things that's not happening, from you fabricating, you on the runway walking, from your premiere that was empty inside of the movie theater. You couldn't even fill up one movie theater. And you had a whole camera crew in front of you to where there was really no fans. Your kids walked behind you when they should have been in front of you. You're the mother. When you're walking with children, they walk in front of you. You make sure they're safe. But you let us know that just like everything you do, your kids are the last thing on your mind. Your kids are behind you. It's all about you. You got to be in the center of attention. That's why God don't bless no mess. And you don't understand how ungrateful you are and how tested you are to be in the position you are. You're on the news. And a few years ago, you were on the news with your husband. And I guarantee you, he probably was the person in the mastermind behind recording you and your son having that moment. Who recorded that, Miss Lieonya, at that perfect time? I guarantee you, he came up with that idea that went viral. When you guys was on the news, the little boy clinged more to him than you. And the sad part is they didn't have anything to bring up about you for real, besides the things you're doing now. What did you do in between times? What did you do after that news clip came out? After you left the news, what did you do that was so fascinating? Besides you being involved in Mr. Little Truth skits. This was his idea in his world. And when you got to where you needed to be, Miss Lieonya, Mrs. I did this on my own. Facebook promoted me. No, your husband promoted you. No, bro, your husband promoted you. I'm going to call you sis, bro, all of that, because you are an ungrateful, evil person, vindictive, all of that. This man, if you would have never been with this man, sweetie, your teeth allegedly wouldn't be fixed. Your booty allegedly wouldn't be done. The vacations that you're going on now, allegedly, you will not be able to go on. That house you're living in, that you're able to pay rent for, you will not be living in. So, or the TV show, you wouldn't even have that. And not to mention, you lied about the title, allegedly. So how can you not even give this man one flower? But you want to be messy and go online and say you made yourself. When we all know that is a lie. Your husband been doing this, sweetheart, way before you. And you are an ungrateful person, even in the divorce settlement, even what y'all going through. If you was a real one, if you truly, genuinely loved him, like you claim you did, you would give that man one flower. You would give him credit for something. But you want to be so, it's all about me. You want to be that one that everybody look at that you made it. You made it yourself. You did it your own. You accomplished this all on your own. You could say, at least, this man helped you. Now, where you go from this point on, that's all on you, Lieonya. If you chose to write another book and you actually wrote it without stealing ideas, allegedly, without stealing quotes, allegedly, from online, from other single parents to actually form their own thought, if you were able to write a book on your own since this divorce, something maybe the life of a single parent, if you was able to actually show you spending time with your kids genuinely, and you actually being a single mother, cooking a decent meal for them, the only time these kids eat is when you feed Mr. Man-Child. Let's be real, y'all. Can we be real today? The only time your kids will eat is when you're feeding your man-child, if they're around. We all can see and tell from your cooking skills. You have never, ever cooked meals for these kids, let alone breakfast. The simplest thing is eggs. How do you mess up eggs? How do you go to this man's house, allegedly, that's supposed to be your man, and you don't bring the proper cooking utensils? I'm sure y'all went to get paper plates or whatever else y'all got before y'all got their sleeping bags. Anything for all the kids to come. How can that be the last thing to think of to get when you're cooking for a family as big as yours? You and your life and everything you portray yourself to be is a fabricated lie, allegedly. Everything about yourself is fabricated. And everybody always constantly come under my comments. Always have something to say about let it go. Why do you keep talking about it? You can go from this page and this channel. If you have a problem, feel free to remove yourself. I promised my people until this all went down, which if you stroll down in my comment section, if they want me to keep on continuing speaking on something, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring awareness to the issues. And the simple fact of the matter is, this woman did not give this man his roses. She has messed up a whole family dynamic, not to mention tried to ruin the relationship between him and his brother, him and his sister. When you're married to a man, whatever he discussed with you about his siblings, that he shared with you in confidence, that should not be put online. That should not be told to others. That should not be strewn around the internet so everyone can hear it. That right there is some evil stuff. That's who you are, Lieonya. You are a messy person. And what you fail to realize and you don't understand, God will never bless any mess. You are so toxic. From you lying to get to where you are now, for you not having any valid proof about anything so far in your show. You are allegedly DV victim, but we don't see anything on your show to prove that. We don't. And at the end of the day, mad or upset or not, your husband deserved the credit of turning you into who you are today. At least some part of that. And the funny thing is, Miss Lieonya, it doesn't seem like you're going to last very long. 2 years, let alone one, the way you're going. You want to claim you this big boss chick and he made you who you are today. You are today. But think about this, Miss Lieonya. You never had to go on Bigo. When you was with Mr. LaTrue, when did you ever go on Bigo? Let's be real, y'all. Since she has it like that, she made herself. Then she wants to talk about him. Well, look at me, look at me. I'm the one on the radio station. I'm the one on the news. So that's obvious. They checking for me. Sweetheart, nobody's checking for you, boo-boo. Not even Mr. Man-Child Janelle checking for you, sweetheart. Nobody, allegedly, is checking for you. Anyhow, for you to go on those things when you know, and we, as well as us, your manager booked those things for you. I can't even get it out. You know your manager was behind everything that you're doing, trying to promote your show, trying to bring you back out in a different light as a single mother, trying to present us with something that we already know of. We already see you. There's no way of going around who you are. You presented that online. You commit adultery daily, allegedly online. We see who you are, Miss Lieonya. The people on the news can pull you up. That's why the only thing they had to talk about was the video from the past. There's nothing in between that you did great, and there's nothing after that you're going to do great that people are going to say, wow, she's an exceptional single mom. Wow, she's made it. She's done everything she said she was going to do after this divorce. Wow, Mr. LaTruth didn't make her. She made herself. She was the mastermind behind her work. No. You want to throw that up in his face? Guess what? He doesn't have a manager, I bet. I bet he manages himself. Because he knows how to do everything behind the scene on his own, Miss Lieonya. He knows how to work and put his videos together. It's going to take him longer because he doesn't have one probably. But he'll get to where he needs to be in God's time. God's not rushing anything with him. God is taking his time with him, sweetheart. And just like God bless people, best believe the devil bless people as well. Nothing good is going to come to you. You sitting around rocking that ring with that star on it. You don't even realize so many celebrities that wore that star ring are no longer here with us. You don't know what you're doing. You're not aware of the game you're trying to play and tamper into. You can't be trusted. I don't care what anybody has to say. If this woman solely married this man with pure intentions, and say it was just them breaking up for a stunt in the beginning, they was going to get back together behind the scenes. There's no way. No way. She would have moved the way she moved and expected this man to take her back with open arms. There's no way it would have been this easily for Miss Lieonya to go on with her life with someone else while still being married, be around another man, and not feel some sort of way if she was truly, genuinely in love with her husband of 6 years who she shares a child with. No woman is going to move like that. No real woman. No woman of God. But you guys want to go under his comments. You guys want to say stuff about him creating and building his daughter page. What is it to you guys? He's a content creator. I think it's wonderful that he's working on his daughter's page. So guess what? When she get in high school and get ready to graduate, when she get ready to go to college, she can have money coming in and she can start running her own page, have control over that. But everybody wants to call him sick and evil and twisted, when behind the scenes, he's doing something smart for her. He's investing in her. So whatever it is she chooses to do when she hit her adult years or close to it, she'll have something to show for it. When this all doesn't work out and she goes where she wants to go, her dad will already build her platform for her. People will already know who she is. So all she has to do is continue to take over. But no one wants to see that. Everybody wants to bash him for doing something that's actually smart. He made it on Facebook. He knows what it takes. He cares enough about his children, whether he's running that page or not, to see them win. Like he said, and he's always said, even though he jokes about Miss Lieonya on and off, at the end of the day, this man says he wants to see everybody win and everybody eat. And I genuinely believe that. Because he could have went in on her in so many ways, on so many different levels. But he stayed humble. He had a little jokes here and there. But there's nowhere near the things that she's done. Nowhere near. But yet, he's still the villain. He's still the enemy. And the sad part is, a lot of her people don't want to see her happy for real. A lot of her people would rather her break up from her home. Would rather a black broken home. Instead of a marriage that should have went to therapy and counseling. Or shouldn't have happened in the first place. Because people obviously had bad intentions from the beginning. And that shows right now. She let us know who she really is. Get into it with someone. Distance yourself from somebody. And give it a little time. They will show you who they really are. They will show you their true colors. They will show you their pure intentions. We have saw so many different things from Miss Lieonya. I will continue to keep you guys updated and posted on everything. At the end of the day, a person that cannot give you credit for the things you've helped them with, when they become high-headed like she is, and she doesn't realize we see you on Bigo. Why would you have to go on this platform all day basically begging? Why would you have to go that route if you had money coming in? If you was doing so good like you allegedly claim you was, you wouldn't have to go on these different things to get paid. You would stick to the things you've been working on. From your clothing line, your boutique that hasn't been revamped yet, from your face product that we haven't heard anything about lately, but you keep every time you go on one of your little tours or whatever you want to call it, promoting your show, you bring these things up as though you are still doing them. You are still accomplishing these goals. If it's something you have done one or a few times and you haven't done it anymore, then, sweetheart, don't bring it up. That's like someone who played basketball in middle school one time. But then they turn around when they get older and say, yeah, I used to play basketball. For real, what age did you? Oh, just in middle school. Well, why are you talking about it? That don't count. It wasn't anything that you stuck to doing that you was truly passionate about. That's why you continuously jumping from this avenue to the next. Because you know in your heart, it was nothing you truly wanted to do. This was the idea from your husband who pushed this off on you. And you felt like you was ready to put your feet in the water a little bit. You start feeling yourself. Once you put your foot out there, you learned a little bit, because obviously you ain't learned too much from him or you wouldn't be on Bigo. You want to talk about him, say this and that, but at the end of the day, you're the one on Bigo and he's not. Do the math on that. That's a fact. So you can say what you want to say about him. You got more than him. You doing this, you doing that. Look where you are and look where he are. The math ain't mapping, boo. Okay. So I watched a couple videos from a couple people channels, and I agree on a lot of things. And my own opinion, and I could be wrong, but when it comes to Mr. Wu-Tang, a lot of people was giving him props for saying that he doesn't speak on Mr. Robert when he gets online, when he's around Miss Lieonya. He doesn't engage in that kind of foolishness. So with that being said, he seems like a genuinely good guy. No. To me, absolutely not. A genuinely good guy would not be messing around with a married man, a married woman. He would not get online flaunting this man's wife when they are not legally divorced yet, when they are still in the middle of a messy custody dispute, in a marriage, drag-out marriage, full-on line. A real man would not date a woman that's continuously dragging her husband throughout the day, to night, to sunset, to putting his business out there, his personal privacy, tax returns, private area, allegedly, all those things Miss Lieonya did while he was allegedly in the home, in another room. She had the same ponytail the day that she tried to attempt to allegedly kiss Mr. Wu-Tang online, in her hair when she was saying she got receipts and going through the tax papers, okay? A real man would not support that kind of behavior. And if she continued to do those type of things, ridicule her husband in front of him, a real man would not be okay with that. He would dismiss and remove himself from that situation, because not only will he be brought up in this messy divorce, there will be pictures, videos, evidence, as well as he might even have to testify against her. There's no way that a real man, a genuine person, a person that didn't want to be involved with drama, will put themselves in the midst of drama. Not to mention Mr. Wu-Tang carrying their child on his head in the video, continuously playing with them. That's like messing with fire. Your girlfriend is claiming she's allegedly DV victim. Not only you are putting yourself in harm's way by staying 10 minutes away from her husband, who's not an ex, who you heard video, I'm pretty sure, of her saying that he uses her sexually, and then he claims that on camera they're no longer together. You heard that. You heard the video where she claimed to be crying wolf, saying that he broke her finger, and then he explained to us crystal clear what happened, and she did not deny that. You heard that on the audio, right? Just like we all did. But what did you do? Continuously put this man's child over your head, play with this man's child, kiss his wife on camera in front of his child, go on allegedly vacation with his wife and his child, sleep more than likely, allegedly, in the same bed with this man, child. These are all the things that are not what a real man would do. A stand-up guy, a person that didn't genuinely want to be involved in drama. Think about this, okay? Let's just take this for example. Mr. Wu-Tang put himself on blast. He didn't mind coming forward openly with this alleged relationship, which we all know he's not into Miss Lieonya like that. She's putting more effort into this relationship. Okay, we know that. However, we all still know it's a relationship. We all still know that he supposedly set a romantic date for them when they were out of town, right? So that's dating a married man's wife. We also know that they went on vacation together, right? And he was playing in her hair. That's also dating a man's wife. We also know that he jokingly made a statement, allegedly, on Mother's Day, that she was possibly pregnant. He's talking about a married man's wife. And so on. I can continually go on. This man put himself purposely in the middle of this drama so he could get recognition, so he could be known. He put everything on the line he had, from his acting career to down the line, risking it all. Any gigs, anything else he could possibly get. Putting it all in a nutshell. For views. Laying it all out there. For people to buy his merch. For him to possibly get more exposure. Even in the worst way possible. He didn't care. He risked it all and put it on the line. Just to be known and get more exposure. We know he's not into Miss Lieonya like that. So it's not like he just truly fell in love with a married woman and he can't help himself. And even if that was the case, a real man will want to move behind the scenes in that relationship until she got a divorce. A real man that was going to mess around with this woman openly and do all these special and fun things with her openly will be encouraging her to get her divorce and sign the papers so she can be done with that, so they can move on with their lives in their relationship. A real man would not show publicly display affection to a woman that's still married to another man. A real man would be afraid to come in the home. It doesn't have to be the same home, but it's still the home that a wife, not an ex-wife, a wife and a child that was fathered by her husband lives in, 10 minutes away from him. A real man would not step foot in that home. He would not want to do things like this. He would not want to be in the center of chaos, causing more drama and confusion. A real man would not approve of those things. A real man would not sit around and laugh and encourage Miss Lieonya to create more mess and drama. A real man would not have a married woman, allegedly Miss Lieonya, in his house making breakfast with booty shorts on in the morning time, or have all the kids in that house, allegedly. A real man will not insert himself in the middle of this messy public drama. He would never want to create, destroy a black unity, a black family. They've been together for 6 years. It could have been a possibility that they would have gotten back together. Who knows? Me personally think in the beginning, and I mean like the first week, that could have been a possibility. When she continuously lied, he never dragged her at first. When she allegedly kept going on a video from the broken finger to the accusations of DV to constantly working at destroying his character in the beginning, when he wasn't even saying anything about her, he was defending himself. When she went to that extent, I do think it was no returning back in Mr. LaTruth's mind after that. However, he didn't know that, Mr. Wu-Tang. He allowed himself to be inserted in the middle of a divorce where a black family, a black popular YouTube family, could have possibly worked it out. A child was involved. Men was involved that were already being nurtured and raised and fathered by another man that wasn't their father. Knowing that he will not be there long term. Knowing that he will not be ready to be a stepfather of 4. Knowing that he cannot afford, or he has what it takes to be the father figure in these kids' life, emotionally, mentally, and financially. He knows that he's not ready for that. He's still young. Knowing that he would not be there long term. So now he's just another person in these kids' life for the moment that's not planning on being there for long. A real man would not do those things. So whether or not we want to say he doesn't have a problem when it comes to the Robert situation, he doesn't insert himself in a business, he's not into drama, this and that, that's BS. At the end of the day, we all can have our own opinion, and that's true. That's cool. But my opinion over here is, I'm looking at the facts. And all the facts lead to Mr. Wu-Tang knowing, willingly participating, willing participant in all the chaos that came along the way, and he's been inserted in. From the scrunchy videos, being in a shower with a married woman, opening a door and doing a sketchy skit when you didn't even have to do that skit. All the skits in the world, you chose to do that one. From the other skits to where you guys look like your lustful scenes, allegedly. Inappropriate scenes for a married woman. Those are the things that led me to believe that this man, at the end of the day, for his character, for his own purpose, will say he don't have anything to do with that. He does not want any drama. He's doing that to protect himself. He is an actor at the end of the day, you guys. Don't be fooled. Because I go off of actions. Actions to me speak louder than words. Whether he said it to the top of his lungs, whether he made an apology video to Mr. Robert, whether he got online and showed his face and said he doesn't approve of the drama. At the end of the day, this man has shown us nothing but time and time again what type of person he is and what type of stuff he's on. He's online daily with this lady and these kids, a Mr. Robert kid, knowing it could be a possibility if allegedly this was the truth about what Miss Lieonya said, that she was a DV victim and her husband stays 10 minutes away. Would you want to be in a household with a DV victim 10 minutes away from her husband? Exactly. Would you want to be with the woman that's still legally married openly like that? Exactly. The proof is in the pudding. No matter what he says, he shows us elsewise. So I'm going to go by what I see is what I get. Those are the facts. And I'm sticking to that. And I'm also going to address something. And this is my last time addressing this. I know I said that last time, but I'm getting more and more people coming under my videos. And they want to say, why don't we leave Miss Lieonya alone? Okay. Like I said, why don't you leave Mr. Robert alone? Why don't you let him post his drop it low video and have a woman in the video without you guys constantly antagonizing him, saying he picked a girl that looks like Brie that absolutely looks nothing like Brie. That you're tired of hearing a song, this and that. Maybe he wants someone to pick up his song. Why is she cheating on his wife, this and that? You guys in your mind come up with the most craziest accusations. Not one time we have proof that this man has cheated on his wife. From him moving on, doing skits, doing his job, working, doing the things that he's always done before her and after her. He's been nothing but professional and has shown class about his skits, class about everything he's done. Whether you want to say, oh, his video Drop It Low was inappropriate. Okay, was it inappropriate for his wife to agree? Since she didn't want any other girls allegedly in his video for her to be twerking on him off the song Drop It Low like that? Yeah, let's say she don't mind twerking, dropping it low when it comes to her being in the spotlight. When it comes to her having all the attention, she don't mind clapping those cheeks. Allegedly. But when it comes to somebody else doing that and she falling back being the wife, being the entrepreneur that he worked on building her up and making her out to be, she'd rather be the video girl. She'd rather be everything. She didn't want to play the part of the wife, but she wanted to play the video girl. She wanted to play all the parts when it pertains to his life, controlling, manipulating. But yet she couldn't do one thing that he wanted from her, and that was to be affectionate, be a wife. But yet we can see her online showing her man-child affection, going out of her way to prove her love to him, day in and day out, and it's still gotten her nowhere. My point of all this is, you guys think it's okay for you to come online every day and have something to say when this man is trying to move on with his life. When this man has proven he's the one filed for divorce. Not to mention release audio where he was talking to Miss Lieonya and saying he been wanted a divorce. We didn't hear her saying she was the one filed. We heard her hurt in the audio, wanting to try to work out the marriage, feeling like she was used. Coming to his house, allegedly with lingerie on, trying to sleep with him at